Alright, you guys, so here I am with part 2 of working on layouts for my day 1 of my Italy album. And I'm working with my first panoramic. So what I'm doing is trying to find some pattern paper. So I pulled the picture out of the way so I could kind of visualize the paper in its place. Some of these were just a little too bright. I actually really liked the geotag paper, but I came up with because it's really nice white, bright colors. But I came up with an idea when I found this blue polka dotted paper that you'll see me working with. I also liked the cameras for the colors, but it was just way too busy. And there was a lot going on. Love the lemons. The colors just did not really vibe. And it wasn't really part of the story, even though to me it seems very Italian-y. So I'm going to end up going with this polka dotted paper and using some embellishments. And this ends up being like one of my favorite layouts I've done in a long time because it was really fun working with a 3x12 picture size. And you can see there I'm using a Food Crush card to tell the story of the gelato we're eating in the pictures on the bottom. And I was trying to decide if it would look okay with the cream colored paper and the white card, but I decided just to go for it. The polka dots on it are gray, the really tiny ones, and there's gray in the card, so I was hoping that would help pull everything together. So what you're seeing here is like the very beginning of my thought process of thinking, hey, this could look really cute with like some chipboard circles. And so I'm just kind of going through my stash of stuff that's like travel related to see what else I have that would fit inside these circular frames. So I'm just kind of going through my chipboard. I pull out some cork pieces. I end up using a geotag puffy sticker just to help break up the circles a little bit. And I just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like to kind of when I'm doing some decision making. I didn't pull out any of my die cuts because I didn't keep this exact piece of paper here, and it only ended up being 3 inches tall, not 4 inches tall. But I must have picked like a different side of paper to work with. So I didn't want to fill every single circle because that seemed like too much. But I definitely kind of had fun going through my stash and picking out some stuff that I thought would work well together. But one of the things I'm really proud of with creating this page and so far this album is I'm really using my stash and using the products. And what I love about Ali's kits is everything flows together so well, especially if you're pulling all from the same year in the same travel collection, because all the colors coordinate and you don't really have to think too much about what you're doing. So decision time is made. I picked the side that I'm using, and I'm just using some rolling adhesive to attach the photo to the paper. And as with home printing, it looks like it's slightly larger than 12 inches, so I just kind of trimmed it down a tiny bit on the one side. And what I'm going to do is just attach the photo to the paper and use scissors to trim along the edges. I don't really find that I need a trimmer for these kind of easy tasks. The scissors guide along the photo pretty well. So then begins the actual decision-making time and pulling out the pieces that I thought would go well together with the layout. So that one is not a travel-related kit, but it said like something about having fun. And it was a nice bright pop of pink against all the blues, so I thought that would be pretty. And that little gray starburst is from a Studio Calico kit. And I thought that would be nice to help pull in some grays with all the polka dots. That one's from the Lost and Found kit. It's a bunch of little hearts. And again, it's like gray and white, so I thought that would help pull in the colors because it's also kind of a creamy tan color. The light blue one says, "Traveling with you is the best." And then here I had the cork pieces. I had a couple different ones that I could have used. They had some really cute designs. I think those are from Citrus Twist kits, but I end up going with Go See Do just because we're like out and about in town. And I originally thought I was going to maybe trim off part of it, but I end up using the entire circle. So what I'm doing there that you might have seen was switching which one is at the bottom so that I can trim it off the packaging. It's just something I've always done. I don't know why, but I like to try to clean up from one side and not just have like a random chunk missing out of the middle. I don't know why. It's just what I do. So I really liked those chipboards from the 2018 collection, but I didn't end up using any. And here you can see I'm kind of playing with going out of the blue circles just to kind of break some barriers, but I end up not doing that. So just kind of showing my process here of how I'm rearranging. That Rome is from a new kit from Citrus Twist Kits. I believe that their May collection was travel themed. And it had like a nice tealy, deep blue kind of color, so it kind of helped the colors pop. And then here's where I decide maybe I need something that's not just a circle. The problem is I didn't really have any other small embellishments that weren't circles. Like I could have used maybe something wooden or something acrylic, but I didn't honestly grab for those because I had plenty like on hand for my stash here. So what I am doing is attaching a chipboard to the bottom and using my Tim Holtz Teflon mini scissors to help. They're not Teflon. I'm just thinking they're non-stick. So I'm using those to help cut the chipboard so that it doesn't totally wreck it. And they're really nice and sharp. I don't use them often. I keep them for specialty stuff like that. So I get a nice clean cut. And I thought about trying to use the little extra piece elsewhere, but the way the pattern was, it just did not work out. So my plan is to have that hot pink fun chipboard go off the page a little bit just to help interact, and I have some clear space above the photo. So I needed to find another chipboard that was the same color to put around the other side. So I just kind of dug through a little bit again, and then I found the perfect chipboard, of course, from last year's 2018 kit. The pink card below it is from the 2018 kit. It says like Go, Do, Explore. And that chipboard there says Best Moments. So I didn't want the pink chipboard right on top of the pink card, and then there's pink flowers in the bottom right hand corner. So you can see I'm kind of looking for like a visual triangle to help pull your eye around the layout. So decisions made, I'm definitely going to go with that. And it was really nice because those two chipboards were the exact same size. And I thought briefly about ripping off some of the layers because back-to-back chipboard can be a little thick, but I ended up just sticking it down and not doing that. But I really like the way that that looks. So I'm sliding back in the picture of the two of us. For now, just sticking the journal card in the back so that I can work on some other things. So what I need to do is create a 4x6 blank card because I'm putting two 3x4s on both sides together, so I need a base to hold them. So I'm just using some scrap paper, and I'm going to work on the back side first, where I'm adding the Food Crush card and the picture of my boyfriend eating his gelato. And I need to get the journaling done first because that Seeing New Things is going to be on the opposite side, and that's bulky, so I don't want to get that mounted down and have it be difficult to write on. So I was trying to think ahead and make sure I was planning out my steps correctly. So just getting those mounted and trimmed. And then sometimes if I have like a long piece on the bottom that needs trimmed, I'll use scissors, but I didn't want it to get crooked, so I just used my trimmer there since it was right next to me. Just trimming off my edges. And then that little map card is from the 2018 kit, and it shows Europe, but also it just kind of pulled the colors from the layout together as well and made a nice base for the wood veneer that I'm using. It says Seeing New Things, which is from the 2020 travel collection. There's a whole set of them and they are super awesome. So I was really happy to have one to use here and not hoard. So I'm gonna just grab my pen, do some quick journaling, and then jump ahead. And so here I'm getting ready to work on the wood veneer. So I'm grabbing my 1/8 inch red line tape. It's going to be a thick piece and I don't want it to fall off or get broken or anything. So I want it to be really secure in there. So I'm going to put about like 6 or 7 pieces of tape around the letters. And I'm just peeling off the backs there and getting ready to mount that down. And I grabbed these stickers and put the pink adventure sticker over the top of the word. But then I decided to pull that off and put it on the bottom right-hand photo of the flowers in the hotel in the background. And once I did that, I decided that I needed 3. So I'm going to grab one of the rose gold flags from the 2019 kit and add that on. I picked one that said Go See Do. And then I eventually off camera add another hot pink word strip sticker from, I think, maybe the adventure kit from 2019 and add that on there as well. And I think I even rearranged the order that they're in. So, but that last step is done off camera. You'll see a full-size photo of the completed layout at the end of the video. I'm just using my rolling adhesive to attach it. And so far, really liking the way this layout's coming together. So I'm adding the gelato pictures. I'm trying to remember what order I had them in. So just flipping it around to double check if that's the way I like it. And then just trimming off any uneven edges, which happen when you print and trim from home sometimes. All right, sliding that one in. It was a slightly tight fit, but it actually fit pretty well, which is good. I was worried I was gonna have to trim some off the photo. So next step is addressing that 4x6 card. So the bottom has a template. One side says adventure, I think, or location, I'm not sure right now. And the other side says date. And I didn't really need the date all over these pages. So I grabbed one of those, I think they're about a 3.5 inch wide sticker, not quite 4 inches long. And I pulled the green one out because I thought that would be a really nice soft green to go with all of the foliage and stuff in the picture, but it just didn't have the right balance for me because there's green in the map, green in the plants. But I ended up pulling that off and going with the navy blue one. And it says, "Oh, darling, let's be adventurers." And I really like the way that that looked. So it added an embellishment, it helped hide the date, and it actually fit perfectly into that space, which was kind of cool. So I just wrote Bellagio on the left-hand side there, and then I start working on our journaling for just telling the story of how after we checked into the hotel, we were wandering around town, taking pictures, being tourists, and just we were really excited because it was our first full day in Italy. So then just getting the journaling finished up here, and then I'm going to leave you with some photos at the end of close-ups of the pages. So I hope you're feeling really inspired. This is one of my favorite layouts I've done in a long time. It's really clean and simple, which is my style, but also it has fun playing with products, and I'm not being afraid to use my stash. So I hope I'm giving you some inspiration. And then the last layout here is a 6x12 insert that I did for our dinner that night. I did it off camera. It's a very simple layout. Just shows pictures of food and a transparency pocket, and not even really much as far as embellishments. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.